Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday with Fill Your Cup Learning Network. I am your host, Joanne. Thank you again for joining me this week for a Wisdom Wednesday tip. Last week, we were talking about self-care and what that is not. What it is essentially too when you are digging more deeper into yourself, because it's not just about going out to getting a massage or getting a manicure. It is so much more that is focusing on your emotions and your mindset. If you missed that episode, go back and watch it in my history of all my videos labeled self-care. It's one you do not want to miss. Today, we are going to talk about self-regulation, which deals with the same kind of topic about self-care. It is related, and we want to talk about what that is. What is self-regulation? So if you don't know the term self-regulation, it's a new term for you. It is about yourself, right? Like in the term self-regulation. It's about how to regulate your emotions, your thoughts, and all of your thought processes. So here's actually a definition that I found of regulation. Regulation is when we experience a balanced and steady state of eternal energy, emotions, thoughts, and psychological processes. So when you are digging into that regulation, it is actually recognizing yourself, what is causing you to feel and react a certain way. What is causing you to think and react a certain way by yourself, and knowing what to do without anyone's help, without someone else telling you what to do, without someone coming alongside of you to walk you through it. It is dealing with it yourself, hence the word self-regulation. This is always a term that we want to use to help other people, especially if you're working with kids, right? You see this a lot where parents want to help their own children, how to self-regulate their emotions. But it's not just in the world of parenting, it's also in the world of working with children or working with other people, where you want people to be able to know how to have self-regulation. And today I wanted to really focus in on, if you don't know how to self-regulate, what do you do? Because it's like, you might be one of the people that go, yeah, I've heard that over and over again. And I hear this over and over again. I need to have self-regulation, or I need to teach my children to have self-regulation. But I don't know what to do. You need to tell me, what is it? What do I do? What is this fancy word all about? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. What can you do to have that self-regulation? So self-regulation is like, literally, it is you're setting up little goals, or you can set up a bigger long-term goal to help yourself, so that you're regulating your emotions, you're regulating your thought processes, you're regulating your reaction to those things, right? And so you are creating that goal so that at the end of it, your goal is so that you can see a change in yourself and your response, how you are talking, how you are responding to something, how you are feeling about something, how you're thinking about something. So it is coming up with those goals so that you can see that change. In order to come up with those goals is to also understand yourself, understand where you are coming from and what is causing you to react a certain way or to feel a certain way. So an example is, right, you would see as some adults is, there's adults that are great at self-regulation because they were taught that, or they were in that environment that invited that in when they were growing up. Then you see adults who I like to call that they're throwing like a big kid tantrum. Literally is what they're doing, is they're throwing that tantrum. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know. And they're throwing that tantrum verbally, right? And you see that emotionally and even physically, and they go out and they slam the door and they're frustrated. And part of it, yes, it might be self-regulation and things that they learn to do to kind of let out those emotions, but they weren't really taught that. So they're now throwing that adult tantrum. And those are the things that you might notice, or if you haven't noticed it, go out and notice that when the next time you were out in a crowd and see people's different responses, if they are throwing that tantrum or not. But today, that's not what we're talking about. We want to come back and now draw back again of what to do for self-regulation. So an example is if you see your children, right, or you have children around you that are being so loud, so crazy, you've already told them multiple times. And what I mean by multiple times is you have already told them at least 2 to 3 times, or maybe even more, to calm down, do something calmly, and quiet down, and they're not doing it. Instead, what they're doing, they just keep up with what they're doing. They're being so loud, being really irritated, but they're just also being kids. But that really just irks you the wrong way. And so you say to them, stop doing what you're doing. I already told you many times to stop doing what you're doing. Now sit down, be quiet, right? That is yourself of what your reaction is coming out as. But then if you want to self-regulate in that moment, is to recognize, why are you reacting the way you do? Why did you just tell those children to stop what they're doing and be quiet and sit down, be calm? Or why is it that you yelled at them in that manner? What is causing that emotion? What is causing you to feel that anger, feeling that frustration, feeling that stress and that high tension in the moment? What is causing it? And then also thinking about your thought processes. What is leading up to that to make you think and react that way? What are you thinking? Is there something else behind that reaction that is causing you to think that way? Is it because you're trying to focus on something and they just disturb that silence so that you can't concentrate anymore, and they broke that concentration and you just lost your thought? Is it because you need just some peace and quiet because you had a busy day? Is it because you have a burning headache and you just want it to be quiet? What is it that's causing you to react the way you just did to those children and yelled at them in that response when they didn't listen and you told them multiple times to be quiet, to be calm? So those are the things of what to do, right? Kind of to walk, as I'm walking you through, of things that you can ask yourself to kind of do a self-check. What are you thinking? Why am I reacting this way? How am I feeling? Okay, I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling stressed. And so you are naming those emotions of stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated, mad, angry. But then you're also digging behind some of those emotions. What is causing you to be angry? What is causing you to be frustrated? Are there any other emotions that is attached to those emotions as well? And you're thinking through it. And so how you're thinking through this is, when you're first starting out, it does take a lot of work. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to learn what to do to self-regulate, and then boom, the next day I'm fine. Or the next time this happens, nothing. I'm calm, I'm collected, I'm okay. It is not that. It takes time to recognize what is it. What are those triggers that is triggering your response, triggering your thoughts, triggering your emotions, right? And triggering your behavior in response to what you see. And so it is diving into that. And how you can dive into that is, I've talked about this over and over again, and it is not going to be the last time I'm going to talk about it, is journaling. When you sit down to journal, it is going to help you to process those things, process those feelings, process those thoughts, process those behaviors. What is causing that trigger? What is leading up to it? And how you're responding to it. So journaling is a great way actually to self-regulate. You're writing down all of your frustration. You're letting it all out. You're letting out everything that you're thinking, everything that you're feeling, and you're seeing it on paper. I like to call it, it's a brain dump. Another way I've heard of it is like you're getting unconstipated. And it's a great way, if you think about that plunger and getting it all cleared out, right? When that toilet is stuck and you just can't, and then you're taking that plunger and all of a sudden it clears and it's like, whoo, it goes down, right? Yes, I'm giving you a really good picture visual right now, but it's because I want you to remember it. So if you imagine that, it's now clearing it so that all the skunk that's in there, it now has a way out. So when you are journaling, it allows you to do that and allows you to just to be able to clear your thoughts and get it out. Another great way is just to sit and listen to music and being mindful, having that meditation, right? People like to do meditation, doing yoga helps them to be able to be calm. I like to think of it as I'm just listening to music. I'm closing my eyes. I'm picturing where I would like to be in that moment of what I would like to do. And so I'm picturing it. And I'm picturing, like, let's say I'm out in this field that is just beautiful with great smelling flowers. And I'm just picturing that. And that calms me down. And it gets me into this different mindset. And then thinking about, okay, how am I going to get there? What am I going to do? And of course, it is taking that deep breath, right? You're filling your diaphragm. And so when you fill it up, as you can see, my whole chest is like, right? It's filling up with that air. It's like that balloon that you're blowing up and it just expands, right? And then you're letting that air out. And you just see my shoulders relaxing. So make sure you're taking that huge deep breath. And so I like to say it's there. Smelling the roses, and you can fill it in with any other kind of flowers you like, your favorite flower, and blowing out the candle. Smelling the roses, blowing out the candle. So really letting that air out. And that could be that first step that you do, and then it could be journaling, or it could be that quiet meditation. It could be listening to the music. It could be going in and putting on songs and you're dancing along to it, because that movement also helps your body, right? Because the air first helps bring up in the air a breath of relaxation to your brain, going, okay, I can relax. And then now it sets you up to do more, because sometimes that just taking those deep breaths does not help. And so you want to do something even more to help yourself to regulate that emotions, regulate those thoughts, and regulate your reaction, your behavior, and to calm yourself down. So those are things you can do to help yourself to get back into this place where you can now think more clearly, you can think more calmly about what your next steps are, about why you're reacting the way you do, and setting up that next goal for yourself of what you should do when that happens the next time around. There's so much more that I can talk about within the world about self-regulation and on this topic. But I don't want to talk your ear off. If you like what you've just heard, I am inviting you to join my emailing list. I send it out every Wednesday, just like my Wisdom Wednesday. And you are going to be able to get those tips about emotions and your mindset that changes, that equals your behavior modification, how that changes your behavior and what your response are. So sign up for your email, and in a way of to thank you actually for signing up for that email is I have a free 5-step behavior guide that I'm going to give you, and it is going to talk about what to do to change a child's behavior. That's what it's titled, but you can also apply it to yourself as an adult. It's not just for children, but you can start with children. If you are a parent, you can start with your own children and you can start on that process. But it's also great for yourself as well. So as a way to thank you for signing up, you will get that free guide from me. So I'm inviting you to sign up for my emailing list so that you can stay connected, because I do have some exciting things coming up. I know you've been hearing this quite a bit, but I do have some really exciting things that are going to be coming out up here in the next few months into the new year that you do not want to miss out on. So get on that emailing list so that you will be the first to hear about it, because I'm thinking about the ones that are on my emailing list. I am going to offer a special introductory price for only the ones that sign up for the email. So if you want to get in on that, sign up. And so thank you again for doing that. And also, I want to invite you to also subscribe, hit that subscribe button below and subscribe to my channel so that you will not miss out on any new Wisdom Wednesday tips that I roll out every Wednesday. And you can also follow me on social media at Fill Your Cup Learning Network. My handle is Fill Your Cup Learning Network on Instagram and also on Facebook. Thank you for joining me this week for this week's Wisdom Wednesday on self-regulation. I will see you next week. Bye.